You guys have had a wonderful long rest in Sibylla's magical treehouse.
I got a basket.
All right, now you leave the grove and you start heading east through the ancient forest. You see many eyes peering out at you from behind branches and trees and bushes. You see one of the pair of eyes behind a bush actually just stand up, and it's actually the bush. And like the longest branches kind of extend into like these clawed arms, and it sort of like looks at you guys back and forth.
This is really cool. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Florian.
Roll initiative.
No, man. No, my bush friend. I want to be friends with the bush. I'm gonna run up, and I'm gonna attack it 3 times.
Okay. You're like crack, crack, smash, and the bush just falls apart and like branches and leaves crumble to the ground. And that's when the other 5 of them in different shapes and sizes start to sprout forward and ambush you guys.
Yep.
There are 2 small, 2 medium, and 1 large. The larger one's almost like a tree. The first 2, the small ones, are going to attack Ahkum, because I rolled a 2. A nat 20 and a 9. So the nat 20 is a hit. The 9 is going to be a total of 12. Does that hit?
Misses.
Okay. So the nat 20 does 17 damage. Bludgeoning. Okay, the mediums
You're not raging yet.
No, I'm not.
are going towards Harris.
Oh.
A miss and a miss, a 5 and a 3. No matter what their bonuses are, that's not even close. The large one, that's kind of a tree-ish one, is also going towards Ahkum. Rip. That's a 16 and a 16.
Both hit.
Both hit.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
That is going to be 18 more bludgeoning damage. And now, Winny.
And I'm gonna go into kind of the middle of the fray here. I'm gonna pull out some of the flowers on my hat. I'm gonna throw them up. They're gonna turn into crow feathers. I'm casting Spirit Guardians again. And the murder is back.
Okay.
The murder of crows is back.
Okay.
So at the start of the plant's turns, they're gonna have to make wisdom saves or death.
Got it.
And then I'll use my extra attack to make attack on one of them.
Large guy or smalls?
Large.
Do it.
That'll be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
We gotta stop this, and I'll cast Eldritch Blast at the big tree.
Oh, yeah. Well, then the big tree falls. You kind of sunder it down the middle, and it sort of cracks, the sound of cracking wood, and it collapses, fortunately, away from you guys. Continuing to travel, you guys follow the hawk for a ways. After another 2 hours, it is now 4 in the afternoon, and it is definitely darker under the canopy. White Hawk brings you to a stream, not huge like a river, maybe about 15 feet across, 5 feet deep, and stops. And he caws at you guys, and he looks back across the stream, like eastward.
Can I grab a fish? While I'm filling up my water, can I just go?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go down to the river, you start filling up your water skin, make a roll to grab the fish.
Is this Dex? Unarmed strike.
Yes, let's do that.
Just Dex.
Yeah, just a dex check.
Ooh, that's good. That's a 22.
You rocket out. You thunderously like pierce the water, grab the fish, pull it back, and then roll initiative. So you're reaching in, you grab the fish, you're like, yes, and then the water itself comes out and plunges towards you. One of these strange water-shaped tendrils flies right over your head as you duck it. The other one slams into you.
How do I fight water?
You take
Ghost arms?
10 damage.
Oh, yeah.
10 bludgeoning damage. You are up, Winifred.
I'm up. This is amazing. I stabbed the water.
Why?
Specifically, you're not going down to the river to stab blindly into the
I'm
river.
going to.
You're stabbing one of the 2 tendrils attacking your friends? Okay.
I want to hit.
Let me know if you roll a nat 1.
I want to hit. No, I rolled a 19.
Ah, successoroo. Is your item magic?
No.
Fantastic. You slash viciously and the water just kind of parts for you and your blade goes through it and it has a little speckle of dampness on it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the same thing I did before. I'm just gonna make 3 attacks.
Okay.
Which is gonna be this die and this die.
You were using your kung fu capabilities, which count as magical attacks?
Correct. So that's gonna be lowest. I think is gonna be a 14.
Yeah.
So it's 14 hit.
Uh-huh.
I guess all these hit.
What if we go under?
You dive into the water, and you're about halfway. No, you have pretty good movement.
Yeah, 45
You swim across the creek. You're soaking wet, but you just swam across the creek. You get to the other mud bank. For the briefest of moment, you see water within water. You ever seen like when somebody pours oil into water?
Yes.
Like you see dense water.
They put thick.
And
They put
shit,
thick
and
water.
But the
Water.
dense water is almost at the bottom, but it seems like it has little tendrils that reach out.
Guiding bolts on the thick water.
Guiding bolt,
I guiding
proceed.
bolt the thick water, 2nd level.
It kind of explodes underwater. Like it blows out underwater, and you see like a weird discombobulation and like deep underwater current, even though this is only like 5 feet deep. And now the tendrils just literally collapse and turn to normal water. Just you guys start kind of following these just natural sort of deer paths and stuff. You make your way through, and as you are emerging from the ancient forest, it's about 8 p.m. You like literally see like it's dark up ahead, but you get out of the ancient forest, and before you, kind of unfolding on a very gradual descent, like a 1.5% grade, but you know, kind of where you exit the ancient forest, looking east is just kind of open plains, tall grasses, occasional trees here and there, birds, you know, bugs, that kind of stuff. No signs of civilization or settlements. And from here, you can't even really see like the coast yet, but you emerge into this kind of open prairie.
As it gets darker, Florian's gonna spend a key point, and what looks like a spectral green ghostly helmet with large wooden antlers reaching out from his head is going to appear over him. And I have dark vision for 120 feet.
You see someone approaching from the east. You see, at first you kind of see like just prairie grass, like tall grass moving, and then you see like what looks like a humanoid man form emerging from the prairie grass and like just not running, not jogging, just like walking towards your camp.
Hi, excuse me?
Yes. He stops and he like looks around and he looks back towards you guys.
Hi. Just letting you know that I'm just keeping watch here over my camp. How are you?
May I join you?
I'm going to roll insight to see what if this man has ill intentions.
Please do. He gets within, you know, maybe 15 feet, and he looks around the camp, like everyone. He says, "You were in the forest?" He's whispering, but you can hear him.
Yeah.
What did you encounter? Are you from the forest or from beyond?
Oh, we're not from the forest. Well, I'm from a forest, not this one. We encountered a few things. We've been in there for a while. There was some water spirits, I think, that we fought over the river down there. We encountered some birds, some fairies. We also encountered some blights, plant blights. That was just today. There's a lot of ogres.
And you notice he kind of like starts to slowly move towards Lark. You notice he's just kind of looking. And again, now that he turns his back to you, no weapons. And he says, and then he turns back to you, he walks closer to you, and now he comes sort of uncomfortably close, like within 3 feet of you, and he says, "Where did you find that one?" And he gestures back over his shoulder towards Lark.
Oh well, the three of these fellows actually met up with me. I don't know where they My name's Florian, by the way.
Well met, Florian.
Who are you?
I am Afarak.
Afrak. That's a fun name. That
Turns and starts walking away. Like literally as you're saying like, oh, Afarak, and he turns and starts walking away back towards the prairie. So you like your shift goes uneventfully for a couple hours. About an hour before dawn, you see a figure moving again towards your camp. He walks out of the tall grass and kind of stops. So
Is there light yet or no?
no, this is still before dawn. So your eagle vision just perceives a shadow at this point, because you could, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would like to say during my watch, I am trying to kind of focus on the sword a little bit more, but not like fully devout my intention to.
I'll add a second notch to that attunement.
Yeah, I'll just kind of recognize that's probably awful rock. And go back to the sword.
Okay. He walks closer. When he gets about 10 feet away, he looks at you. Ogres.
Yeah.
He looks down where Florian is sleeping. He says, that one said that you saw ogres.
Hundreds.
In armor.
Yep.
Giants too.
A few of them.
Moving where? You saw them in the forest or the valley?
Valley.
Moving south towards Ohiro?
Oh, I don't remember. It was.
Did they follow you into the forest?
Little ways. I'd left eventually. Went back south.
And he looks down at Florian. He says, that one said that you were not Stratos.
No, I hate the Stratos. They're awful.
He says, what tribe did you walk with? And you notice that he used the past tense of did, not do you. He says, what tribe did you walk with? Okay, side note, as you think about your tribe, you notice just that it's peculiar that he asked you what tribe you did walk with, as if somehow he knows that you are from a tribe that no longer exists.
You seem well taught, or at least knowledgeable in the ways of the Leonin.
Yes, I am. You are an orphan.
Ahkum's gonna stand up.
Now, you know that term. Orphans are a derogatory term for Leonin. It's kind of like a Ronin, basically. Like it's sort of a derogatory term. It's not just a direct insult, but it's kind of like a low-key derogatory term for those who don't have a tribe.
Ahkum is standing up, and he's gonna reach for his great
You're
axe.
taller than him.
He's gonna bare his fangs. Watch your tongue. Sit back down.
He says, where did you find her? And he gestures down towards Lark.
Ahkum's not gonna answer.
He waits, and then he nods. I wish you good fortune in the wars to come. And then he turns and walks away into the prairie.
Ahkum is going to leave a note to the party.
Okay?
He's writing, following off a rock. Go east. He's going to leave that where he was, and he's going to stand up and trail the man as he walks away.
Make a stealth check. You're following the trail. You go a mile, and you kind of emerge from this patch of tall grass, and you notice that there's sort of like a rocky area and then a drop off of about 50 feet down to kind of like a lower level of ground.
Do I see any signs of like disruption of the earth below? Like
Yes.
it fell or jumped down?
No, but what you do see as you emerge with your insane vision is down below in this lower level of open land is just more prairie for as far as you could see. But about a mile out, at the edge of your supervision, you see a very large encampment with probably like 12 different bonfires going, and you see tents, but they're not quite tents. They're like, I mean, they're tents, okay, but they look like they're very primitive, made of skins. This looks like a sort of a nomadic camp. Not all that unlike perhaps what you would have grown up in. But with your supreme 1 mile vision, you notice that there are not Leonin in this camp. There are not centaurs or satyrs or turtles or any other of the furry folk. These are all apparently humans. They all pretty much look kind of like Afarak. They're all wearing, kind of more primitive clothing. And you see that they are basically, what it looks like they're doing is the fires are going. It looks like people are preparing food, morning stuff, right? People are coming out of their tents. They're families, like men, women, children, old people, young people. You see him kind of in the middle of the camp, sitting around one of the fires. And it looks like there's a group of 14 other people, men and women, also kind of similarly garbed. They have like spears, they have axes, kind of more of the simple weapons, clubs, that kind of thing, like bows. And you notice that he seems to be like gesturing and kind of explaining something, and you see some other people kind of looking at him, and it looks like they're having some kind of discussion. And then you multiple times see him point west. And then, and then he's like, and like a couple of them stand up and they look angry.
How dry are the grasses they're standing in?
Not dry enough to start an epic fire because...
Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
Josh, return to camp.
Okay. You backtrack through you're basically able to follow your own markings. So you go back through the sea of tall grass. You get back to the camp. Sun is rising. Got a little bit of sun coming up. And you get back to the camp just in time for sunrise. Your friends are still all there. They're alive. Nobody killed them when you ran off. They are sleeping. You wake up, everyone?
Yes. I'm going to start with Lark, actually, before making these two.
You receive a little nudge, wake you up. You've had an epically long, like 9-hour long rest.
Hello?
Do you know a man named Afarak?
Do I?
You do. In fact, I'm going to say this. You know Afarak because he's your uncle.
Well, hello, and welcome to Blayne Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you were just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that, because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.